You know we had to do a remix, right? This beat seeking a place with safety, and we got what it takes to rock the mic right. Yeah. Still watch what you say to DC, cause I still will not get asked the fuck.
Hi folks, this is RQ coming to you live from the beautiful San Diego, California, home of the IEFL media for the 2007-2008 season. We usually don't do 2 radio shows in a week here in the IEFL media, but I had the opportunity arose for me to interview one of the IEFL greats. When I say IEFL great, the first person that pops into my mind is the man that I'm about to interview right now. He's actually sitting right next to me here in studio. It is the manager of the Pro Bowlers, the 4-2 Pro Bowlers, of the defending, or I'm not sorry, not the defending champions, the 3-time defending champion Pro Bowlers. David, are you here with us?
You know, 2-time defending champion. I'll let you slide. I mean, hopefully it's 3 after this year. But yeah, kind words about you. I appreciate you having us in studio, and should be a fun time.
Definitely. I want to start, just asking you a really basic question. How do you like the season so far? You're 4-2. You were sitting on the top of the standings last week. Right. You took a tough beating by the Bone Crushers. So how do you like the season so far?
So far, I mean, it's looking good. I'm glad that we went out and got 4 wins, but we could easily be 1-5 right now. I mean, there's no doubt about it in my mind. You look at our points and Team Food's points; they're pretty close. So yeah. We squeaked out a few victories that we're fortunate of. And we're not taking it lightly. We're looking at our team that we're an average team in this league right now. So whether it's a couple of free agent acquisitions that we made, or just getting our guys to be consistent on a collective basis. You got guys like Lavernus Coles and Benjamin Watson that have been consistent, but it's a matter of everybody being consistent in one given week. So, but I think we're looking good so far, and we could get through this little rut of not scoring high points.
All right. Now that actually wants to go. That actually makes me want to go to my next question. I want to talk about the improvements of your team.
Right.
What improvements do you think can be made to the Pro Bowlers to make them hang with a team like the Ruber Squad, or a team like the Dingleberries week by week, or a team like the Von Dons?
Yeah, I think one thing I learned that being in this league so long is patience is a virtue. And a guy like Wes Welker did so well for Team Food in 1 week. And then he went ahead and dropped him after he had a subpar performance. So we go and get a guy like Wes Welker, and Vincent Jackson and Lee Evans have not proven they could be a number 3 receiver for our franchise. So we're gonna bring Wes Welker in, and hopefully he can keep that magic. And when you're with Tom Brady, I'm pretty sure you could score a lot of points in a hurry. So I think that guy alone can boost our confidence at wide receiver level, and get Mark Bulger back for Torrey Holt. I just think that our receiver core, you can't score 10 points in 1 week, but I think from this point forward, everybody's going to be performing on a consistent basis.
Yeah, and you can't forget about Wes Welker is also a kick returner. So if he and he's also one of the better kick returners in the league. So if he gets a little touchdown there, then that's an extra bonus that you have right there.
Yeah, I mean, we don't count yards per kick return anymore. But yeah, if he does break it towards touchdown wise, we should be fine.
All right. Now I know what you're going to answer to this. The answer to your question, or to this question already, I'm sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied here.
Right.
I'm just nervous in the presence of greatness and the presence of IEFL supremacy over the last couple of years. Yeah. But I want to ask you, what are your goals for this year?
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about our goal is to win the IEFL championship, to be back on top. It's amazing to, me, as I look back at last season, how we finished in 3rd place. I mean, a guy like Ruber Scott wants to talk about luck and manager skill. I mean, we pretty much just put band-aids all over our team last year. You got guys like Clint Porters, Ronnie Brown, Daryl Jackson, B.J. Shams, Jake Delhomme. I mean, we had I believe it was 6 injuries straight in 6 straight weeks, and somehow we patched our team together. So we're confident in our front office that we can go out there and pick up free agents and maybe make a trade and just keep our team on the elite level. And we know that we could compete with the best when come playoff time.
All right, and I heard you talking about the Ruber Squad earlier. I actually want to ask you about the Ruber Squad and the Dingleberries. I don't know if you got to hear my interview with Robert Food.
Oh, yeah, we heard it.
All right, and first, what are your first reactions after that interview? He didn't sound too confident about it. He said he's a lucky person because he got LaDainian Tomlinson, which, of course, the luck of the draw with the draft is, for the first week. But picking Tony Romo, I don't think that's luck. But what do you have to say to the Ruber Squad between luck and skill? What's the difference?
Well, in the last couple of years, we've been known as a professional franchise and a guy that kind of keeps quiet in the media. But when someone comes at you directly, we got to defend ourselves. And I think this year we're a little bit more adamant in the media, just to go out there and tell these rookies what it's all about. I mean, it's not all about luck. And in your interview, it kind of seems like he is backing off his strong statements that he's made before. He said that it was no manager skill at all. Nope. And I believe in your interview, he said that, oh yeah, there's no doubt there's manager skill. Yep. So,
and you know why? It's because I asked him the question. I said, how can you say that David Brickley consistently being at the top of the game every single year, how can you say that that's the lie?
Well, yeah, 5 years in a row. I'm not trying to burst my, burst my bubble here, but at the end of the day, we're a good franchise, and we always find a way to stay on top. But the Ruber squad is just, I don't understand where he's going sometimes. The guy, kind of flips back and forth, and I just don't know why he would say something like that when it's evident that it takes manager skill. Team Fu is a good manager. Right now, he's not doing too well, and maybe he's made some bad decisions, like dropping Wes Welker or something. Maybe that's the reason, but no doubt about it. It's luck, I will say that, but it is manager skill as well.
All right, I want to move on here. We're coming towards the end of our interview just a little bit, but I want to ask you very quickly about David Kubaga. He's not in the league anymore. You had some harsh statements for him at the IFL draft. What do you have to say about the whole situation with him getting indicted?
I kind of thought about that and talked about that in our front office. We really don't want to comment on that anymore. I mean, David Kubaga was good while he's here, and obviously there's disappointment throughout the league. But I'd rather just talk about the guys in the league this year and talk about the IFL in the future, because it doesn't seem that he will be in the future, and so let's just talk about the IFL.
Are you sure about that? I mean, you had some very harsh words for him. I wish I could pull. Can we pull up the clip? Okay. Well, we can't pull up the clip right now, but
that's out there.
You had some very harsh words. I can't quote it, but all I remember is just biting my lip and going, "Oof, that's a little harsh." Any words on David?
Well, I gotta admit, after the lottery, it was kind of new, it was kind of fresh, so it was still under our skin a little bit, and it did upset us, winning the championship in Clinton next year. But I've said what I said. I stand by those comments. I still think he's a good man. I still think he's someone that can succeed in other things in life. But as far as being a part of the IFL in the future, I seriously doubt that, and I would just not recommend that at all.
All right, we're coming to the end of our interview here, David Brickley. Once again, thanks for coming on the show.
Anytime, man.
All right, so let's do some predictions here. I do it with everyone.
Oh yeah, one thing I want to say about the predictions is it's a great segment in your show, but there's some managers out there that are picking against herself. Yeah. I mean, week in and week out, like you look at, say, Pro Bowlerz versus Moons, who do you think's going to win? And I say Moons. I mean, is that something that I would say as a confident manager in this league? Absolutely not.
Yeah, it always boggles me. Well, going to our first game, Pro Bowlerz Moons, I can guess who you're probably going to pick in that game.
I mean, as an owner of the Pro Bowlerz, I think we're going to win, obviously, and I know we're going to win, but even as an analyst looking at this game, seriously, I really do think the Pro Bowlers, have the upper hand in this game. San Diego is on a bye, and that's, pretty much 90% of the Moons team. So, I think we're going there. A guy like Wes Welker's going to step in, and hopefully Benjamin Watson's replacement should be Eric Johnson, can come in and just provide some consistency.
All right, let's move on to the other game, the first place Dingleberries versus the Bone Crushers.
I think you have to go with Dingleberries in this match. The Bone Crushers had an unbelievable week last week, and it just I think a lot of guys firing all cylinders. A guy like Tony Gonzalez scoring 3 touchdowns. I don't know who the guy from Cleveland is, but he had about 20 points as well. So I think Bone Crushers just steps back to reality now, and the Dingleberries just take that point.
All right, great. Let's move on to the IFL North, where you have the Von Dons, very underrated, versus the 1-5 Team Fu, who just picked up Marvin Harrison and Thomas Jones. Who wins that game?
I think Team Fu kind of elevated his team, and you gotta have a change. You gotta switch things up a little bit, shake things up a little bit when you're 1-5, if it's gonna make or break you. But I think Von Dons is just one of those guys that's a silent sleeper right now, and he is a rookie, but obviously he did his homework in other leagues, and he's doing a great job. I just think Team Fu doesn't have enough firepower to win this game.
All right, let's move on to the Ruber Squad versus the Sizzle Dips, both who I think are very good teams that could contend for the title. Who wins that game?
I think Sizzle Dips, being 2-4, I talked to him this weekend in person. I said, are you going to look to trade? And he said, no, absolutely not. We are confident in our guys, and it's just a matter of starting the right guys. Adrian Peterson, 43 points on the bench last week, and, the guys just being consistent overall. So I'm actually going to Sizzle Dips in this matchup. I think they, get back that swagger they had last year, and Ruber Squad can't be hot too often. So I think the Sizzle Dips go ahead and wrap this matchup up and get a dub.
All right. Now, very quickly, time restricts us. I just want you to say the 6 teams that you think that will make the playoffs and the eventual champion. Go ahead.
The champion's really me. The Pro Bowlers are going to win their 3rd overall championship, and people are going to, have their jaw drop at how unbelievable this guy's actually being. No, we don't like to do that, but I really do think we have a chance to go out there and win this championship. And as far as who's going to be in the dance, I think Team Fu and Bone Crushers, the guys that have been there since the beginning, are going to be the first season ever where they don't make the playoffs, unfortunately.
David Brickley, thanks for coming on the show. We will be back with David J here in studio.